Yo, it's Regina, and today we are doing epic office hours, but we should say it like epic office hours. Okay, so anyway, what I'm doing now is sometimes when I get questions via email or social media or blog comments that I think would benefit a ton of us, I'll be answering them during these short videos. And here's the deal, today's question is something that I hear a lot, and it's something that I struggle with a lot. I used to struggle with it. I still struggle with it in creating new stuff, creating projects, all of that stuff. So let's get to today's question from Sarah. So she says, my biggest struggle is narrowing down the focus for my blog. I have a heart for the fiscally aware bride, but also for the helpless owner that wants the nice design look, but without the average price tag. And then she says she's also enjoying giving simple style advice to friends as well as life advice. And then she says, shoot, my heart explodes with happiness talking about any of these topics, but how can I make that all work for the same blog? So I really like this question. And then she says, this is so awesome. Thank you, Sarah. She says, from one ninja to another. I appreciate your website. Thank you, Sarah. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to answer this question for you and for anyone who's maybe struggling with this the same way I would talk to myself. So I'm not trying to be harsh with us, but this is literally how I have to talk to myself. So I think that you are only passionate about something in theory until you invest in it and build it. It sounds like a great idea to talk about XYZ topic, ABC topic, DEF topic. I can't think of more letters in the alphabet, but you get what I'm saying. It sounds great to think about all those topics, and you are passionate about them, and you want to write about them or create videos or some type of online content about them, which makes total sense. But in my mind, you're only passionate about it in theory until you actually do it. Because so I have the, I guess we'll say, benefit of a web background. My mom made me learn code. My mom and dad made me learn code when I was like 2 or something. And so when I got older and started getting interested in websites and things like that, as far as blogging is concerned or building websites you can sell stuff from, I was able to create websites really quickly. So I'd have an idea, I'd buy the domain. I still own you guys don't judge me, all right? Listen, here's the deal. 170 domains, whatever. Listen, moving on, okay? I own a lot of domains, so I would get an idea, I would buy the domain, and I would install a WordPress fresh installation, put a theme on it, and just go and build a site, and it could be up within 24 hours, within 2 hours, whatever, crazy with it. And then I would start writing about something because I knew back from having a blog back in like 2007, 8, whatever, I knew blogging was important. It was a great way to grab traffic. And so I would start blogging about it. And here's what would happen. I would get maybe 1 to 3 blog posts in, and I would stop. The site would just die. I wouldn't do anything else with it. And so whatever I was so passionately excited about in theory did not actually turn into something that I pursued long term. So my actual challenge to you is, if you're passionate about all these things, I feel like there are 2 options. There are really 3 options, and I'm not going to suggest the 3rd option because I do believe that you really do want to talk about all these topics. So this is your way to test it out. 2 options. My first thing is find a theme that ties them all together. So let's just say simplicity or frugality or whatever it is. Find a theme that ties them all together and build your site based on that. So if your site is going to be based on simplicity, you could do, let's keep it simple.com. Horrible name. Don't do that. Well, actually, that might be kind of funny. Whatevs. Listen, so you have your theme and then you have your categories. So you have weddings, I believe you said, the designing your home, style, all of that stuff. So then keep it with simplicity. Even the life advice that you give to friends, maybe it would be related to how to keep your life simple, how to keep relationships a little more, simple, or whatever it may be. Just trying to take the complexity, or I don't know, what is this? The mist, the illusion, the confusion out of things. Try and build a site based on that. And so then anyway, you throw all your categories in there. And what I would say is test out which ones you can regularly and awesomely write about over time. So if you're 3 months in and you've been able to write about all of those topics consistently, I would bet you'll start to be seeing some traffic, especially if you're on social media, commenting on other people's blogs, being, a flirtatious, wonderful butterfly web person, whatever. You know the phrase I'm trying to say. So here's the deal. You would have traffic to your site, hopefully, and you will have had comments, or maybe even just you're asking your friends and family to go check out your site, and they will naturally comment on the posts that they connect with more, the ones that stand out to them more, and you may see some type of theme emerge. You may see that people really flock to your, simplicity in relationships or something like that, but maybe not so much to the bridal stuff. And then that can let you know what topic you might want to pursue further. Also, for you, and I think this is almost more important at first, for you, you may find like, dang, I love writing about this home styling advice, keeping it simple, keeping it inexpensive, and you may not come up with as many ideas for some of the other topics. So then you've narrowed it down, and hopefully you've named your site in such a way that that simplicity theme can apply to just that one topic. So then you can keep your same site and maybe just narrow it down to 1 or 2 topics that you like to talk about and let the other ones fall off. Second option is to actually just establish different blogs. And again, here's the deal. If you really are truly passionate about it, and if it's a really good fit for you and a good fit for the people you want to talk to, you can establish, say, the 2 different blogs if you feel your topics just don't mesh together well. And then same thing, like just see which one you write for, see which one gets traffic, see which one gets a good response from the people that you invite to come check it out, or just from the internet in general. Because again, if you're really, really serious about it, then, and not just in theory, but in practice, then you're going to see good results come from it. And it might not be 1 million visitors in the first 3 to 6 months, but you're going to see that you like it, it flows, you're able to, create awesome content for it. You have a long list of ideas that you want to create for it, etc., etc. So those are my 2 methods. The third method that a lot of people will tell you is to just pick one. And I don't actually disagree with that method, but for somebody who, when I feel I'm passionate about 5 different things, I feel it very seriously in my heart. And if somebody was just to, say pick one, it would be very hard for me to pick one. I wouldn't think that that was what I needed to do. Sometimes you don't need to do that, especially if you turn your blog more into a magazine, lifestyle-y type of blog that addresses different topics. I personally feel the best thing is to try and develop content for everything you're saying that you love and you're passionate about, and see what naturally emerges as the winner instead of just picking one. You might actually pick the wrong one at first because you feel equally passionate about all of those things. And if somebody had told me to pick one back when I was trying to make a decision, I think I would have picked the wrong one. And it turns out that by me trying to write about a ton of different areas in business, is just what I'm passionate about. I've established a ton of businesses in the past. It's what I studied in school. When I would try to pick just one area, I would have been, I don't know, confused, overwhelmed, and might have picked the wrong thing. And in me writing about all the different things I wanted to write about in business, so many different angles, I found the one that worked best for me. I really like talking to infopreneurs. I really like talking to people who are using the information, the knowledge in their head in very specific ways, and monetizing it. That is a true passion, and I feel like it's something that people can't take away from you for the most part, right? The knowledge inside of your head is just really about how you apply it. So that took me a while to come to that, and that was after trying a ton of different blogs, a ton of different blog topics. So I don't necessarily vote for the just pick one option. And I know a lot of marketers will tell you that I am so wrong for saying that, and that may be that it's not the correct answer for everyone. But for any of you out there that are just like, I love this and that and this and that, if one does not stand out to you as the clear winner, I would really ask around family, friends. Typically, whatever they relate you with is a good indicator that it's probably a strong contender. So if you can't narrow it down by that, I'd say start a site, start writing about it. When you actually create content about it, and you're actually able to create good, helpful content, entertaining content, whatever it may be, on a consistent basis, then I believe the story that you're passionate about it and that you're willing to pursue it. But before that, I can't prove it to myself, and I don't think you've really proven it to yourself without having taken that step. So if you want to kind of stay scrappy, hashtag stay scrappy, as I always say, I would maybe try a Squarespace website that is pretty easy to make look nice. I mean, I was just talking in an interview the other day, like, you really can't mess up a Squarespace site for the most part. Like, just plug your stuff into the theme, use some of the nice built-in fonts at first. You don't even necessarily have to make this most beautiful logo at first, and just start writing. And as you start getting traction and start really seeing what you like, then that's when you can really invite people and try and attract people to the blog and see what kind of emerges as the leader, or maybe they all stay and you build more of a magazine style brand that hits on multiple topics. Okay, so that is how I would address it. And remember my overall phrase here, that let's tweet this out, if you will, everyone. You are only passionate about something in theory until you invest in it and build it. Okay, so that was Epic Office Hours that has a dance at the end. I didn't tell you guys about that. Thank you so much for the question, Sarah, and I hope that helped you and anyone else who's struggling with that same kind of concept. Okay, bye, y'all. I don't know why I just thumbed up, thumbs up, thumbed up, whatever. Bye.